Angeli,
Hi, Terry.
I've been thinking about something that I think is probably worth discussing. And that is the question, when people don't feel good, they have a variety of ways to respond. Because so often bad feelings can be a chemical response in the body. And they can do things like alter the chemistry by taking a medication or by engaging in an activity like running or, for that matter, walking, that would change their body chemistry and put them in a different place and allow them to get free of the unhappiness or disappointment they might find at a moment. But people generally don't do that. It would seem so simple. But why is that?
That's a very interesting question. I actually never thought of that question myself, which is just goes to show that it happens to all of us.
Sure, of course.
I think one of the reasons it could happen, and I'm not saying that has to be the only reason, is when we become so used to that emotion that there is nothing better to think about, or, there's nothing to change because we've become so accustomed to it.
Yes, we take that condition, whether it's disappointment or unhappiness or anxiety, as a condition of our life rather than something that we might look at and change.
So one of the ways, what would be the ways that you recommend one could go about doing it?
Well, I always want to start with physiology because so much of behavior overlaps the question. The border between physiology and psychology is very blurry sometimes. And one of the things we have control over is our physiology. So if we don't feel good, if we are depressed, if we're anxious, then I look to one's physiology to see what you might change, because it might be nutrition, it might be hormone balance, it might be allergic, it might be something in the atmosphere. And there's so many things that one can adjust if one looks to them to try to adjust. After that, it's a matter of trying to examine one's feelings and see where these things come from.
Right, and I think it's like, for some people, it's about taking a walk in the park or eating a lot of chocolates. That's the bit for me. And talking to a friend that you haven't spoken to in many, many years. But I think what's important is to be able to go through the whole life cycle of emotions and not be attached to one.
I think that's a very wise idea. So often we get in ruts and we're used to things and we respond by reflex rather than by thinking them through or working them out. And I think that's all too true. And then also sometimes people just don't understand they have choices. And as I said before, there's so many things that one might adjust into one's life. To start looking for them is a great step forward.
So choosing well is key.
Understanding you can choose and then choosing well. Thank you, Angeli. And I've got your secret. It's chocolate, right?
Chocolate, yes.
If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel.